The highlight of my RC thermal soaring in 2020 was flying the Monarch Ascension sailplane I had built during the winter. I lengthened the nose on my Allegro Light sailplane. I assembled a foam glider that I thought I'd use for slope soaring and it would also prove good for thermal soaring. I repaired a heavy DLG glider and did some thermal soaring with it. And I added single channel RC to a towline glider, the Little Dip. I also did some flying outside with a heavy electric glider. Building the Monarch Ascension was rather challenging, but I did get through it and the results were good. It takes some rather detailed work. When building the wing, you need to build this jig that shapes the leading edge on the bottom. There are some carbon parts that are laminated into the spar before you do the sheeting. The fuselage wasn't just too hard to build, but the radio equipment just fits in there. You have to use the recommended radio equipment or it won't fit. And then I had to get the V-tail working. This is the structure before covering. I use ultra-coat light to cover. I did some flying of this heavy electric sailplane over the snow during the winter when it wasn't just too terrible cold. I started replacing my nickel metal hydride batteries with either life batteries or lithium polymer batteries. I had to use a regulator with these batteries and it took more room. As you can see, that's why I extended the nose on the Allegro Light. I did a lot of high start launching off of a rather short high start with my 2-meter gliders just because I like the challenge and get a lot of exercise using the high start. The Monarch Ascension only weighs 13 ounces for a 2-meter glider. It gives it a really light wing loading, and it was possible to go up into some really light lift. Although it's not magic. When there was days when there wasn't much lift, you couldn't climb either. But there was times it really did well, and sometimes you could fly under 100 feet for like 4 minutes. I'm happy to say that this glider is in just as good a condition at the end of the season. I had put single channel in this free flight towline glider mainly to learn how to tow, but I tripped one time while towing and I was hurting for about 2 weeks. So after that I went to using a high start launch, but I was able to thermal this on just single channel and it was kind of fun to try. The radio equipment I had was like park flyer type equipment, so I was a little afraid to let it get up too high, fearing I might get it out of range. My Hyper DL, I refiberglassed the nose and I added a lithium battery with a regulator. This U-glider worked pretty good for thermal soaring, and I like having ailerons where it responds quickly. I had thought to use it just for slope soaring and lighter lift. Looking to more good thermal soaring in 2021. Thanks for watching the video. More to come.